Hello, Jake Light here, gaming lawyer at your service. We're back again with the Great Ace Attorney, and hopefully, this will be the last few times we are going to be in this first trial. Yes, we are still in the first trial, it seems. So, in any case, let's continue. Don't you realize that it's dinner time for my little baby idol? When my son's belly is empty, he's fiercer than a pack of wolves. Exploited by the police we were, like miserable dogs, forced to bear false witness. And when cast from his courtroom, myself, I became a ruined man in a trice, a worthless, withered antique. Nothing more have I to say. Sun has set on this reputation shop owner's existence. Be that as in... Oh, how I do this voice again? Be that as it may, Korakuta-san, something has come to light that requires your clarification. As far as Rasute memory serves... That's it. The very exact one that it is. The resplendent, splendiferous hoy treasure that Musty Bones managed to misplace that fateful day. It can't be. As I thought. Young man, enlighten this decrepit old fool. Put me out of my misery. Is your foot okay, no sir? You got stabbed. Where was my treasure? Where was it dropped? Oh, I'm not sure if it was dropped anywhere. We found your coin sandwiched between a beef stick and its plate, soaked in the seasoned meat's juices. Sandwich? Soaking? Seriously? Clearly, it couldn't have fallen there by accident, which means somebody must have hidden it there on purpose. Somebody concealed my holy treasure between a slab of meat and a metal plate. Who would do such a thing? Such an unconscionable thing. Excuse me, could I say something? Yes, of course. Proceed, Inspector Hosonaga. I mentioned this early on in the trial, but I was working undercover in a restaurant in order to investigate another case. Ah, yes, that's right. The secret undercover operation. La Carneva is a high-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Recently, there's been a run of similarly executed thefts, targeting the restaurant's rich clientele. A number of such incidents have been reported to the police bureau. Wicked crime. Wicked crimes indeed. We wanted to nip the case in bud quickly, especially with so much foreigners being affected. So that's why you were sent undercover, is it? Yes, I took on the job of waiter at the restaurant in order to flush out the criminal. It seems likely that this Koban incident is the work of the same thief. So, unbeknownst to us, there was a master thief at work in the restaurant on a regular basis. The place was already the scene of several crimes, it seems. I don't know about the master thief part, but the identity of the person who stole and hid Korikuta-san's Okoban is all too clear.
What? What?
I think the court would like to hear the defense view on this matter. Tell us, who is the despicable scoundrel that stole Kurekuta-san's Koban and hid it under the stake? It's this guy, man. It's this guy. Just present. Take that. Obviously, it can only be you. Sergeant, yes sir, no sir. What? How? How dare you? You monster. Monster? I stole that Koban, did I? I'm the master thief of La Carnival, am I? You're seriously accusing me of these crimes, cadet? Wait, it wasn't me. It was Ido. Ido is the mastermind behind all this. What? You will push the blame for your crimes onto your own son, an innocent little baby? It's you who's the monster, Sergeant No, sir. You. Clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity clop. Oh, is that? Is this not a kid? Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant, yes sir, no sir, preparing to stand down in the Supreme Court, sir. Oh no, is this another witness testimony? Do any of you know the extraordinary low wages that Nippon Imperial Army pays, those it expects to keep our country safe? I understand that the temporary increase in taxation owing to the recently ended conflicts remain in place. And I have heard it's hard for lower-ranking soldiers to make a living, yes. All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son. That's why you were stealing things at the restaurant. The place is heaving with money. Every 3 days I go there and do reconnaissance for a target. And I enjoy chomping my way through a good steak at the same time. It sounds like he doesn't bother with a knife and fork even, which is worryingly believable. And your target that day was the old man and his Koban. Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped the coin into my pocket without any trouble at all. A veritable phantom thief, you are! I was all set to leave the steak I was halfway through devouring when it happened. Bang. Yes, when the professor was shot. I knew that if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. I do too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could, on the double. I slipped it under the steak, hoping that I'd be able to rendezvous with it again at a later date. Who said that? Oh. Perhaps you could carry on with this absurd prattling in your own time. Well, Miss Brett? Oh, of course. Dear lady, of course. How rude of us.
I'm quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all.
Oof, ouch.
May the esteemed gentlewoman please be excused, Your Excellency?
Indeed. The theft of the Koban was clearly perpetrated by this babysattered sergeant, who would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder. Of course it is. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. And the nonsense, is it? Well, oof. Oof. And as for picking up your steak and biting it into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness. Very well. Now that all questions concerning this witness testimony have been answered, I see no further justification for detaining her. Miss Brett, you are free to leave. Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck with everyone. Hold it! And good day. Hold it! Hold it! Huh? Ryunosuke, what's the matter with you? It's no time for daydreaming. Oh no, it's just something about Miss Brett's parting words that got me thinking. I can't quite work out what exactly, but something she said jarred with me. I feel like there was a contradiction there somewhere. Something didn't quite add up. Well, because the steak is in the wrong table. Oh man, this is all obvious. I'm not even sure. Are they high or something? If that's the case, don't just stand there thinking, make your voice heard. Sorry? You can think later, but if you don't call it now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over.
Hold it!
Wait, Miss Brett. What is it now? I'm afraid just one last time. There's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like you to explain the contradiction in your parting words from just a few moments ago. What are you talking about? What contradiction?
What new student nonsense is this?
Well, what parting words are you talking about, Ryunosuke? Hiding a coin under a lump of meat? The sheer nonsense of it. And as for picking up and sticking by together, it's beyond nonsense, pure madness. Yes, I'm right. What she said there exposes an undeniable contradiction. I'm going to need to see evidence, counsel. If Miss Brett's words truly are contradictory, where is the evidence to prove it? Oops. This. Yep.
Present!
The photographic print of the scene taken immediately after the incident occurred. What's interesting is the plate of steak that you can see on the victim's table. The steak that Miss Brett had been eating before the professor was killed? Yes, go on. More accurately, Your Excellency. The steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed.
Now you're just splitting hairs.
Not true. Does something about this steak strike you as very unnatural?
Unnatural? What on earth do you mean?
It's extremely obvious. I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten.
Oh!
I see you've noticed it too, Miss Brett.
Notice what exactly, counsel?
Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed No Englishman could even contemplate picking up a stick and biting into it without using a knife and fork.
Of course she did. She's a refined English gentlewoman herself.
Then take a good look at the steak, in particular the edge where it's been eaten.
Whack, whack, whack.
As you can see, there are clearly defined barbaric teeth marks there.
Oh.
Ah! It looks like Miss Brett has realized something. So, if the witness, as she claims, wouldn't contemplate eating anything without using a knife and fork, there shouldn't be teeth marks in the stick at all.
But what is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett?
Oh no, she's going to break. Oh, almost, I can feel it.
Oh, whatever you say, dear lady.
As I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot be possibly wait any longer.
Of course. This will all be over in a blink of an eye. Rest assured, I'm about to put this book in the...
I've heard enough. You irritating little spectacled samurai relic.
Oh, of course, dear lady.
What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have we ruffled your feathers? Nice pun. Clearly, the witness knows what this means. She's realized the catastrophic implication these teeth marks in the stick have for her. Ryunosuke, do you know where you're going with this? Yes. Now, at last, it's all come together. The mysterious teeth marks in a steak that all had allegedly been eaten with cutlery. The reason why the bloodstains I know I saw somehow seems to have disappeared. And most importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day. I accept that these teeth marks in the stick are a little unnatural, as you put it, counsel. But what exactly are you suggesting that tells us? Everything, Your Excellency.
Everything?
Yes, I believe that these barbaric teeth marks is the stake here. Amount to conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that will prove beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Wilson. Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? You will know the meaning of the phrase, typical Japanese empty threats. How can you be so sure? Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented it to the court long ago. Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought before the court yet. Hasn't been? What? But just because it hasn't been shown yet, doesn't mean that the evidence does not exist.
This is absurd. The trial has run several hours already, and you say there's evidence yet to be brought forward. It can't be. I don't believe you have it.
I don't, but there is someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. And if that person is willing to submit that piece of evidence I'm referring to, it will solve every remaining mystery about this case.
Very well. I have this feeling this will be my last request of the defense in this trial. Who possesses the conclusive evidence that will reveal the truth about this whole affair?
Hosonaga. The answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosonaga. Oh, what? I have it? Yes. You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence? That's ridiculous. No. I'm not saying that. Everyone's attention has been focused on this stick with the teeth marks. Yes. Now, earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Nosa told the court the following. I enjoyed chomping my way through a good steak. Now, as well as admitting to stealing Korikura-san's coin, he told us that he slipped it under the steak. You watch it, cadet. I'm a superior officer. Sergeant Nosa, could you please confirm something for me? Was the steak that you put the coin under, in fact, your own steak?
Attention! Affirmative. Of course, I might be a soldier in the Imperial Nippon Army, but still. I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign gentle lady if she'd mind me manhandling her meal to hide something in it.
In other words, the steak that the detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nosa's meal.
But that makes no sense. The plate was taken from the victim's table.
Yet, the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor did she have any opportunity to steal the coin. Of course, I didn't steal it. To even suggest a thing would be an affront to the entire British Empire. Well then, how do you explain this paradox?
Exactly. Surely you're not going to suggest that the sergeant switched the two sticks over.
No, you dumbass.
You did switch the plates.
Well, after it happened, he did switch the plate? When I saw the civilian had been murdered right in front of my eyes like that, I panicked. And as I said, I immediately lifted up my stick and hid the coin underneath it. But then when the waiter announced he was an undercover policeman, I thought I had it. If he decided to investigate my slab of meat, that'd be it. I'd be getting my marching orders. Okay, right. Okay, that makes sense. Doesn't make sense if Brett switched it, I guess. So when the cadet here was arrested and taken off to the kitchen, I seized my chance. Stop treating your child like that. With military precision and timing, I switched my stick with the one on the foreign lady's table. What? You can't have. I never saw you do such a thing. It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell you. So yes, I did what I had to be done.
Unbelievable!
However, fear not, Prosecutor-san.
What now?
I swear on the brass buttons of my uniform, that is all I did, sir.
All you did? That's plenty, Sergeant.
So, if Sergeant Nosa switched the plates over, it means he took Miss Brett's stick and the plate it was on back to his own table. Yes, that follows. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes. Earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had not only taken Miss Brett's stick after the incident, but also the sergeant's. That to preserve evidence, you have taken both.
Huh? The mother is struggling. Yes, she is breaking. We will finally see her break.
That's correct. Then please present it to the court now. The plate that was actually on the victim's table at the precise moment he was shot. What can that possibly tell us now? I mean, a cold slab of tough meat. It can't have the slightest bearing on the case. No, you're not wriggling your way out of this time, lady. I beg your pardon? Surely you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why this stick pen promises to prove such a problem for you. No? Huh. You're the one who's decided it was a problem, not me. The reason that the defense asked to see the plate was to confirm something the defendant remembers seeing. This thinks he remembers. I'm quite sure what I saw, Miss Brett. On the side of the plate that was on the table directly behind Dr. Wilson, there was a clear splattering of blood from the gunshot wound to the victim's chest. I believed the defendant's memory served him well. And now we have the evidence to prove it. The plate you were eating from, Miss Brett.
Let us not prolong this any further. Inspector, you will show the evidence to the court. Present the beefsteak and plate that was already on the victim's table and at the time of the incident.
Yes, sir. Oh, it's obvious. It's super obvious.
Sorry for keeping you. Blood. Here is the other stick and its plate. Please feel free to examine it.
The blood stain. It's clearly visible.
Yes!
Look! Now, this makes everything clear. The blood you can see on the side of the plate shows that at the moment the victim was shot, he was facing the table with his back to me. In other words, it is impossible for Naruto-san to have shot the victim. Oh, is it?
It can't be.
In fact, there's only one person who could possibly have shot Dr. Wilson from the front. I'm sure everyone knows by now who that person is. That's right, Miss Giselle Brett. It's you. Ah, here it comes. Outdone by a Japanese me, by a Japanese schoolboy. No, no, no. Okay. Right. Lots of swan babies. I'm guessing that's the ugly duckling reference because of the black swan. Please excuse me, my little outburst. I briefly lost my composure. Most unbecoming behavior for an English gentlewoman. Forgive me.
Well, Miss Brett, I think it's time you told the court what actually happened that day. The truth this time.
Gladly, Your Excellency. It was I who took the professor's life, using Cuirassier. As you surmised, I chose that particular day for one very important reason. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning. So you planned to kill the professor, knowing that no trace of poison would be found in his water, because Cuirassier is unheard of here in Japan. Yes. Of course, I never intended to remain at the restaurant for as long as I did. I only needed to see the professor take one tiny sip of his water. It will all be over. I would place the steak I had ordered in front of him to make it appear as though he had been dining alone, and leave immediately. However, before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the professor's table. That would be me, I suppose. Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter, but the fact that you decided to come over to greet the professor meant that I had lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and paralyzed. I made sure he was sitting in his chair such that he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point, so I concocted a plan on the spur of the moment. A plan to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man. I happened to know that the professor always carried a gun. I decided to use that fact to my advantage. I had a bottle of Cura in my handbag and my own pistol concealed under my skirt. Under your skirt? So I was right. There were two guns. Yes. And then I finished my coffee and got up to leave. That's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably be placed on the floor, placed where you were sure that I would notice it. And everything went according to plan. You noticed the gun as I intended. And then, just as you bent down to pick it up, bang. That's when you shot the professor with your own gun, even though at that point he was already dead. Naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion, at which point the waiter appeared. Obviously, I assumed Naruhodo was the culprit and apprehended him. I took him to the pantry that adjoins the kitchen and locked him inside. That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor and his chair around. Because, of course, you needed to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson from where he'd picked up the gun. So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor. Your Excellency. Yes. I wonder. When I speak with you in private later, I shall call on you. Thank you. Good day then, everyone. I hope you can forgive me, Naruhodo-san. I don't think I can. Oh, she disappeared. Alright. It would seem this trial has finally run its course. I presume the prosecution is in agreement.
This can't be. Taketsuchi Aochi does not lose. Not to the likes of this rookie student.
You'd better start getting used to tough opposition.
Ah! Ryanosuke Naruhodo!
What? Yes?
This insult to the Aochi family name will never be forgotten.
And will be insulted many, many times in the future generations. You've become conceited with age, counsel, but the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. Oh, what are you trying to do? Oh, so that's how the iconic look became. A thousand millennia may pass, and still the Aochi clan will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan. This trial, I will ignore that. Literally threat, a threat to violence. In the Supreme Court of Japan will, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter in our country's judicial system. Despite being summoned as the accused, you, Hironosuke Naruhodo, presented an excellent case. Thank you, Your Excellency. The use of evidence deduction to unravel the truth is a modern methodology. After all, it has only been a few short decades since our country opened its door to the wider world. But the Western ideas of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here. I feel sure that science will soon bring new methods of investigation and new procedures of justice. A new future of law awaits. But what it will look like, I cannot begin to imagine. It is for the young to pursue. Kazuma Asogi. Yes. After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all you can, absorb everything from the wider world that you are able to. Wise words, Judge. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you. I understand, Your Excellency. What was that about? Why do you look so grave all of a sudden? What mission? Never mind. As for you, Ryonosuke Naruhodo. Oh, yes? In you, I sense, how can I put it, unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you can carry that onwards. Thank you, Your Excellency. It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby find the defendant Ryonosuke Naruhodo
Not guilty.
Yay! Congratulations! Yay! Yay! Whoa! Yay! Why are we celebrating in the courtroom? This court is now adjourned. All right. And that's how we end things. Yeah, I think I went way a bit ahead of time, so we'll have to stop here, unfortunately. But, well, in any case, thanks for watching. We have finished the trial. And what's going to come next? Who knows? We'll see. Until next time, thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this playthrough. I'm enjoying it. And yeah, see you next time. Next time. So, take care. Stay hopeful, but be critical. Bye-bye.